I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome back to River Forest for the finale of our soccer opening homestand. It's the Cougar men's soccer team coming out here on Sunday, September 7th to finish off a 4-game homestand to start their season. Cougar taking on the visiting Caltech all the way from Pasadena, California, Concordia, Chicago. So far this season, 1-1-1 through their first 3 games, one of each kind of result. Over on Caltech's end, they also come in 500, 1 win, 1 loss, and they're coming off of a loss in the first game of their Midwest road trip, taking on a couple of NAC schools this weekend as they lost to Illinois Tech 2-3 on Friday. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network here with Elliot Higgins. Elliot, as we get ready to go here today, we have 2 teams that are 500, and honestly, for all intents and purposes, it's been a solid start to the season for both of these squads. They've seen what they have. Looking at the Cougars as they come into this game, they are coming off of a tough game against Blackburn this last Wednesday. What are you looking to see from this squad?
Yeah, for the Cougars today, last season wasn't the greatest season for them. Coming into today, they're 500, and to kind of surpass that 500 mark today and really just play a solid game all around, I think they could do it, and it would just be great to see them above 500 to start the season.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that 500 mark to start the year. Getting above 500 on the season as a whole has been a struggle for the Cougars soccer programs, men and women's. And Cougar men's team, you got off to a slow start. It's hard to claw back from that. At the end of the year, they were a long ways from reaching that mark. This is a much stronger start to the year than they had last year. This looks like a much more cohesive team than they had last year. And one of the biggest things to note with this squad, they have scored a goal in every single one of their games so far. And that was the offense that struggled at points last year, along with the defense. Both sides struggled at the ball. The offense has been solid so far. The defense has been very solid so far outside of this last game at Blackburn. So the Cougars, strong start to the season. But as we get ready to go on the field, it is Caltech who gets us underway. And we'll run through their starters as they pass it around the back line. Starting on the back line is number 2, Brian Kim. Going through the rest of that starting line is number 3, Eric Ledvina. Number 4, Art Schub. Number 5, Etienne Casanova. Number 7, Ishan Manchbragada. Number 12, Matthew Luck. Number 14, Quinn Hartman. Number 17, Kyler Williams. Number 23, Ethan Fung. Number 25, Riley Coover. And in goal, the junior, number 33, Alex Crowley. As Casanova sends that one down into the corner, looking for Luck. Luck down in the corner, turns it, looking to cross it in, bends it in, and Wangandu is going to head that up, and it's going to get headed all the way out. Rushing up on that is Fung. She gets it over to Casanova, and it's taken away by Velasquez, who tries to play the long ball. Kale trying to chase it down, and he's not going to be able to get there. And that brings us to your starters for the Cougars. In goal for CUC, making his 3rd start this year. The man who's taken over there, number 35, Nathan Gudiol. Elsewhere on that roster is number 5, Juan Maresco on the defensive line. Elsewhere on the defensive line is number 21, Bernardo Delgado. Number 28, Andre Wangandu, coming back to a game for the first time since the season opener. And number 27, Gio Velasquez. Elsewhere for the Cougars, number 7, Justin Ocampo. Number 8, Isaac Hernandez. Number 10, Caleb Kao. Number 16, Jesus Badillo. Number 26, Giovanni Lechuga. And number 30, Michael Sinise. As that's a ball down into the corner looking for Kim. Kim passes that up to Manchbragada. Manchbragada cuts to the top of the box, passes central to Casanova. Casanova into the box and offsides. Tagged on Matthew Luck, just a step ahead. And the Cougars will clear it away.
That was a really good push there for Caltech. Looked like they had some really good ball movement. Just got caught off sides by about a foot, and could have been a good chance for them.
Gudiol gets that over to Maresco. And Kim's going to get tagged with the foul. Takes out Maresco's leg, causes spin. And looking over at Gudiol in goal, those do look like new keeper uniforms.
They do.
For the Cougars. First time we've seen those this season, because if I'm not crazy, usually we've seen Gudiol in the neon green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they got the black keeper jersey today, and I think it's a nice, clean look.
Guriel, he's just going to walk it out. Still walking it out, and now he'll clear it away. No pressure. And that's a poor touch from Hartman. Sinise trying to fight through to it. And it's going to get cleared all the way back to Crowley, who's going to swing it out to Shuba on his left wing. Now you look at this Caltech roster. Up top for their forwards, it's a lot of returners. Casanova, Montebragada, those guys who saw a lot of time, put up a lot of production in the offensive end of the ball last year. Everywhere else on the field, though, there is a good chunk of turnover for this squad. New players starting in the midfield, new players starting on defense. So some turnover and some stability for Caltech.
Yeah, I think they find themselves in a good spot for this season because they bring back most of their offensive production from last season. And on the defensive side, you got some new guys, but they could definitely make something work with that.
Loose ball. Sinise brings it down, going to get swung over to Moresco. Moresco down to Sinise. Nice step by Feng to pick that up and pass it back central to Williams. So the Cougars able to bring the ball down to the attacking third. Haven't been able to break through to the penalty box yet. And the same can be said for Caltech. Nice step by Lechuga. That'll get up to Kale. Now Delgado applying pressure on it. Still chasing that down to the defensive line. It's going to be a long ball. Stepped up on by Isaac Hernandez. Hernandez down line looking for Kale. And this is just a pinball game back and forth on the far sideline.
Yeah, I think through the first 5 minutes so far, one thing we've seen from the Cougars is the heavy pressure up in the top, attacking third. And I think for the Cougars to be successful today, I think that's what we're going to need to see from them.
It's been, honestly, one of the best things we've seen from this Cougars team so far this year is the pressure offensively. It allows them to kind of control the pace of the game and play to their strengths, and it keeps them from falling onto the back foot, which is something we saw in a lot of their games last year. And here's a nice run for Casanova. Casanova moving central, chipping it over towards the outside. Kim can't get there, and it's going to end up out of bounds. Kim gets up, heads that down. Moresco chases it back out and kicks it out of bounds. I do like what I'm seeing from the Cougars defense, though. They're shutting down these runs from Caltech and forcing Caltech to create opportunities through passing on the near side. They're not allowing easy runs into the middle.
But yeah, that's one thing we saw a lot from the Cougars last year. They were just getting beat by long runs and getting a lot of one-on-one opportunities where the keeper didn't have a chance. So I think this year, so far from what we've seen, they've been playing a good, solid defense, and they're really making the other teams they're playing earn their goals, and more so.
And here's an opportunity for Caltech to try and earn a goal. We saw the Cougars defense keep Montebragada from getting into the box. He runs out, gets tripped up by Velasquez, and we're going to get a free kick from about 30 yards out for the Beavers. Prime position for a free kick as you see Caltech send up 5 to the line. It'll be 6 as Montebragada walks over. To take it is Casanova. 3-man wall for the Cougs. Everyone else watching the line. Montebragada unmarked on the backside. Ball's in, headed out by Velasquez. There's a nice header from Delgado, and he's going to swiftly bring that down the near side. Delgado cutting back, lays it off to Moresco, trying to dash up the near side. Ocampo able to get that central to Badillo. Badillo trying to switch fields to Hernandez. Doesn't look where he is. It's way behind him, and Hernandez has to double back for it. He'll play that up the sideline. That'll get through to Lechuga. Puts a shot on goal. And it's just wide of the post. That was a tough angle to try and take a shot. I thought that Lechuga was going to try and cross. If he missed it because that was a lot closer to being a shot than a cross.
Yeah, from my angle, it definitely looked like a shot. I I think he probably should have laid it off to the middle. He had a couple guys in the middle that could have been there for a nice shot, but sometimes you just got to get them on goal.
We've talked a lot about when we're watching those Cougars women's soccer games, volume on offense. Just put shots up, put pressure on the goalie. There's a nice through ball into the box. Guddio comes out for it. Guddio clears it away. A nice step from the sophomore, and this game remains scoreless. I mean, that's a great through ball to Matthew Luck, a great step from Luck to time that run and slip through the defensive line.
Yeah, that was really good patience there in goal by Guddio. You saw him, he came out, he got caught right outside the 18-yard box, and he really, it looked like he really wanted to catch it. And he did. He was patient, and he just booted it out of there.
Kim crosses that in. A nice clear from the knee for Velasquez. Second chance coming. Cougars stay up. Sinise coming towards the outside. Working on Kim. Cuts back in. Nice give and go. Sinise, a lot of space in the middle now. Lays it over to Hernandez. There's a deep ball looking for Lechuga, headed out by Hartman. And Sinise tries to get the second chance and blows that over the net. And right there is a glimpse at what we've been getting from Michael Sinise this year. Last year, he kind of played, if there's a player that's comparable on this field to Michael Sinise in his freshman year, it's Caleb Kale playing on the wings. You receive the long balls. You try to see what sticks. This year, Michael Sinise, he has been the engine of the offense in the center, darting around, bringing it up the middle, creating opportunities, and positioning himself to be ready for those crosses in.
Yeah, so far from this season, I really like what I've seen from Michael Sinise. I mean, he's just dominating the middle of the field. He's scoring, he's passing, and he really just looks like an all-around great player so far this season.
Fang lays that up to Casanova, cutting central, still on his feet. Nice stop. Puts it over to Luck. Luck trying to cut down to the goal line. It's still loose, and Montepragata got the foot on it and just booted it out towards the fence. Caltech wanted the corner kick. They're not going to get it. Montepragata trying to say it was deflected. Guddio sends that to the far side. Hernandez touches it down. Swings it to Badillo, who's going to swing it to Moresco. Streaking Ocampo, not enough sauce on the pass. And it's going to be taken away by the Beavers. Fang up the near side, gets it over to Williams. Williams down to Montepragata. Wangandu's on him. Wangandu's beat. Montepragata cuts in. A nice stab and save to deflect that away by Velasquez. I mean, that's the other thing that the Cougars were missing last year. We've talked about it a lot. We'll still talk about it. Gio Velasquez was supposed to be the engine of this defense last year. Missed the entire season to a torn ACL. He's back this year, and he's been back in a big way. And you can tell exactly why that Cougars defense struggled without him last year.
Yeah, most definitely. Gio Velasquez, he's I mean, he takes free kicks. He dominates the backside of the field, and yeah, he's really just engine the defense. That's all it is.
Montepragata able to slip through the back line there, but it's a long touch. Able to get tracked down by Moresco, and then a poor touch allows Guddio to pick it up. So Caltech will restart all the way from their own goal. There's another long through ball looking for Luck. Luck looking for Montepragata, gets pass, and it's shanked wide left by Montepragata. I mean, Wangandu, he looked great in his first game with the Cougars in that season opener. He has struggled a little bit so far, facing off with Mancha Brigada. Probably, I think it's the third time in the last few minutes we've seen him get beat on the near side.
Yeah, Mancha Brigada is really running the field right now. Really good job by our keeper there to set the angle, because there was not a lot of open net right there. He got out, he attacked the guy. He attacked the guy with the ball, and forced a wide shot.
Beavers still on the offensive. Luck lays it back to Casanova. Casanova looking towards the corner. Gets it back to Fang. That's going to get all the way back to Fang. Central swung over towards Hartman. Hartman, lots of space on the near side. To Kim, back to Hartman, and the Beavers just rainbowing it across their defensive front. Slowly moving upfield. Now Williams lays it down. So Caltech trying to look for a gap in this Cougars defense. Pretty much everyone except for Delgado is back within the defensive third right now. There's a ball through to Luck. Wangandu gets it to Ocampo. Ocampo to Lachuga over the head of Delgado. Caltech, you can tell they're catching a break right now after a lot of hard runs into the box, none of them coming through. They're taking this opportunity to slow the offense down. They'll ramp it up. There's a ball to Kim down in the corner. Kim, one touch cross, headed out by Velasquez. Deflected out of bounds off of Ocampo. Beavers will redo it. It's loose in the box. Williams looking for somewhere. Back to Kim. Crosses it in. Gudioh falls down on top of it. Even Gudioh has been under some pressure today, and he's handled it beautifully. Chuck that out to Hernandez. Hernandez sends that down the line. It'll get passed back to Hartman. Let's run it back. Caltech starting from their defensive four. Wangandu heads it straight back to Hartman.
One change we've seen from the start of the game is the Cougars had the ball in the attacking third for much of the first 5 minutes, and since then it's been a lot of work in the defensive third. And Caltech's been making some really good runs. We've been stopping them, but eventually we're gonna have to get that ball back in the attacking third, because it seems like we might not be able to stop it for too much longer.
That's that ebb and flow you'll see with soccer. Right now it's flowing Caltech's way. Cougars have got to try and push that pressure back their own way sometime soon, as that's out of bounds off of Caltech, so the Cougars will take possession in enemy territory. 15 minutes into the match. Moresco looking for Delgado. Out of bounds off of Hartman. So Moresco will redo it from a couple yards further up. Just goes short to Figueroa. And it's out of bounds off of Caltech again. Making another couple yards up for Moresco. He'll throw it back in. As we just had our first substitution of the game. Gio Lachuga out of the game, into the game, Miguel Figueroa. Nice cut from Williams. Gets it up to Luck. Luck pauses. Passes back to Kim. They'll swing that over to Coover. Coover. Lots of space on the far side. He takes that gap, and he just rifles it up to the corner where there is nobody. And he waves at Casanova, says, I thought you were running, I thought you were running. Very much was a none. It'll be a goal kick for CUC. Falling into a bit of a lull in the match as that goal kick will make its way to midfield. Looking for Ledvina down in the corner. Ledvina bends it in, but it's just out of bounds over the top of the net. Gudio going quickly, gets it out to Moresco. Moresco, long ball looking for Delgado. Hartman's going to get there. He'll pass it back to Crowley. Crowley will swing it to the far side. And again, Montebragada trying to beat the defense on a run. He went too early there, gets tagged off sides.
Yeah, it looks like the game plan for Caltech is to have Montebragada get out in the break and try and create those one-on-one, two-on-one situations.
Yeah, the Cougars, they need to keep that defensive line even. You know, Wangandu's been trying to catch them off sides today, but the line hasn't been even. There's usually someone keeping them on sides. You got to keep that with a team that's trying to run. You got to keep a flat line and an even line to avoid getting caught with someone making a clean run. Here's a 3-on-1. Kim goes central to Montebragada. Wangandu comes over to cover, and Montebragada, a weak pass into the box, cleared away by Wangandu. They'll reset, Fang. Central. Over to Montebragada. Cougars still trying to decisively clear it out. Kale looks central to Ocampo, up to Sinise. Sinise, nice back-footed pass to Ocampo. Back to Sinise. Give and go, ends up out of bounds off of Caleb Kale. That's back to Coover. Coover taking space, moving it up. Short pass to Montebragada. And they're going to get a run in. Gudio can't stop it, and it's into the net for a goal. Etienne Casanova gets the run, gets the goal, and the Cougars go down 1-0. Caltech in front. And it looks to me like that one might be on Gio Velasquez on the far side getting caught out on the run.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times already today. Caltech's been making good runs. We've been stopping them. That time our keeper got beat, and it was easy. It was just an easy lay into the goal to make this game 1-0.
And you want to talk about keeping a flat line on defense. That's where the Cougars get caught there. Wangandu and Moresco were falling back with Montebragada on the near side. On the other side, Velasquez and Hernandez trying to keep a high line, trying to avoid any runs, trying to catch people off sides. So when Casanova runs through and gets past them, both of them letting him do that, they don't know that he's still on side because they don't know that their backside is tracking back and keeping him on. And that's where you're going to get caught out, and that's something that the Cougars are going to have to make an adjustment for this game.
Yeah, I think we really saw Caltech just lay that trap with Montebragada out in the break every time, to where the left side of our defense was so worried about it that they were playing back, and they got us. They got us on their left side on the attack.
Nice step by Hernandez. Up to Kale. Kale moving central. Kale looking for Sinise. Bit too much sauce on it. That's going to get to Crowley in the box. Kim to Montebragada. And he'll send it in too far. It's picked up off the bounce by Gudiol. Nathan Gugio giving his team time to recover, and he'll boot that away. And bounced around by Caltech's defense. Up to Williams. Williams moving to the right, has space, sends it back to Hartman and plenty of room. And Caltech just passing it around the back line. Now Casanova will push the offense, looking for Montebragada, knocked down by Hernandez. Nice set from Ocampo. Kale's there to pick up the loose ball. Kale's trying to work his way through traffic central. Hernandez is just going to boot that downfield. Coover, nice rainbow chip. Kim on the near side, back to Hartman. Give and go, deflected by Ocampo. Sinise has Figueroa. Figueroa in space, down, trying to get into the box, doubles back, trying to double back and get past Hartman, and he can't. Hartman clears it out. It looks like Figueroa just got caught with a case of trying to do too much. As now that long ball is going to get down in the corner. Gugio chasing it out. Gugio deflecting it and booting it away.
Really nice play there by Gugio. Notice that the attacker was going to probably have a really good shot on goal and was able to get out to the ball and make a diving stop and then boot it away.
You can tell as Gugio has played more on the field his second year as the Cougars keeper, he's built more confidence to have in his head. I can do this myself. I don't need to let the defense handle it, because theoretically you can hang back, let the defense try and cover that one off. They're not too far away, but you have the ability to get to the ball. Go out and get it yourself, and he does a beautiful job of it there.
Yeah, that's something that we'll see is just playing free, playing loose, playing aggressive. You'll be able to make saves that necessarily maybe you wouldn't have made last year if you're not as confident.
Caltech will start from their own corner. They'll swing over to Crowley. Crowley to Hartman. It's a rainbow as Hartman will send it back to Crowley. Beavers content with biding their time. 20 minutes to go in the first half. Montebragada looking up the corner. That's onside. Lavina into the corner. Can't keep it inbounds. That's going to be a goal kick. And we'll get another sub for the Beavers. Into the game is Gavin Slocum. Out of the game is Brian Kim. As Coach Gillis gets some of his second teamers onto the field. That foul will get tagged on Casanova. Cougars, they play it quickly. Ocampo moving right in space. Tries to play it to Badillo. It's a very poor pass. And now it's a 2-on-1. Here's Luck working on Juan Gandu. Luck shot off the post. Almost able to sneak it by Gugio. And it's off the post and out of bounds. That'll be a goal kick for the Cougs. And again, you see it's the defense trying to figure things out. They have struggled with their positioning today.
Yeah, the defense continues to get beat. Caltech keeps missing some pretty good-looking chances, and the defensive line is going to have to figure this one out, or those chances will start to fall.
Ocampo up to Moresco. And something to know on that defensive line we haven't talked about yet. Asael Castaneda Usually he's playing a full 90 on that defensive line for CUC. He is out today after getting tagged with a red card at the end of the match against Blackburn this past Wednesday. Castaneda, one of the most reliable players for CUC through those first 3 games. That's a big loss today for the Cougs as Delgado deflects that into the box, and Crowley will come out and take control. Crowley over to Hartman. Hartman, long pass to Williams. Casanova sends that up to the near side to Montrepagata. Montrepagata looking to send it in. Gets it into Slocum. Slocum, poor touch. It gets out to Figueroa. Figueroa stays with it. Passes it up to Ocampo. Ocampo has Slocum on his back now. Tries to get it into Velasquez. Now Hernandez will take control in space. Hernandez looking to sideline. Trying to send that up the sideline. Gets it down the sideline. That's into Delgado. Delgado passing back to Hernandez. Passing central to Badillo. Badillo to Ocampo. Ocampo cuts. Ocampo, long shot deflected by Hartman back to Crowley. Even if it wasn't deflected by Hartman, it wasn't the best shot from Ocampo, but you love the aggression just to try and get something going for the Cougars on offense.
Yeah, the Cougars really got to start pushing up because we're yet to see a shot on goal so far this game from the Cougars, and we are 30 minutes in. Currently down 1-0. We're going to have to see a shot on goal if we want to make it back into this game.
Far side. All the way over to Hartman. You can tell the Beavers, after scoring a goal, they've been a bit more content to play from the defensive line, as Slocum can't keep that in. Moresco. Gets Delgado. Ocampo. Triangle passing. Joe Badillo. Weak pass trying to get to Velasquez. Williams steps up to take it away. Williams has Luck coming down his left side. Luck, long shot, deflected down by Badillo. Luck, second chance, crosses it in, deflected by Velasquez, who booms that downfield. Fang will take control, tries to get it past Velasquez, can't do it. Nice cut up field, now tag Velasquez with the foul. So the Beavers will take control. Down into the corner, out of bounds. Couple more subs coming in for Caltech. They will not be granted the sub. Padilla stepping up on it. Kale, long ball down the sideline, out of bounds. Like we said, 30 minutes down. Caltech Beavers lead 1-0 over Concordia Chicago. Hartman up to Slocum. Slocum will look central. Beavers weaving in, looking to start a run. Now here's Slocum with a run on the backside, has some space. He'll cross that all the way over. Zawaslan trying to keep it in, can't do it, and that will be a goal kick for Gudiel.
I think the Cougar defense right now is lacking communication. I think one of the main things that we've seen are these diagonal runs where the Caltech attackers will start in the middle of the field, and they will either go towards the right corner or the left corner, and our outside defenders have no idea because it looks like they're just not talking as much as they should be.
They're not. Usually you'll have your players spotting for the rest of your team. As there's another run into the corner from Luck. Luck cutting around Wangandu, laying it over to Slocum. Slocum working on Moresco, trying to send it central. Nice step from Badillo to knock that down and get it to Sinise. Kale keeps it in. Has it taken away from him, though. Evan Perez, newly into the game for the Cougars, is fouled in the far corner, so that'll be a free kick. But, I mean, yeah, like we were saying, like usually you'll have players spotting for your other players on the defensive line. Watch the run to your left. Watch 5 to your backside. Watch this over there. Watch that. And it doesn't look like we're getting that from the Cougars' defense right now. And it's a lot of just trying to figure it out on the fly. There's a lot of runs coming in. Looks like they're kind of getting overwhelmed by Caltech, and they're just on the back foot trying to keep up with it. Here's Ocampo in the middle in some traffic. Sinise jumping up, long rifle over high and to the right. Again, I'm okay with that because you've been struggling to get the ball in the box. Show some willingness to take some shots from deep, put some pressure on the defense, try to test the keeper if you can eventually get those on frame, and then maybe the defense will try and adjust so that it gives you some better opportunities to get into the box. Hartman. He'll just swing it over to Cougar. Long ball to the far side. Perez keep it in, but I mean, again, you look back at how that defensive line looks on that long ball. Gio Velasquez, central, he's tracking back. He's even with the player, but he's a full 15, 20 yards over. Evan Perez, the guy over on that side with Hamill, is not. And the rest of the defense isn't. So you have one player tracking back 10 yards behind the rest of the line with a forward who's 20 yards away from you with even that 10 yards down from the defensive line. And it's a one-on-one. And here we see another one-on-one. Guddio comes out for it and is rocked after he catches it out of the air. And the clock is going to get stopped. Guddio took a hard hit. He's still on the ground. And the Beavers heading over to the sideline. Guddio able to sit up. The training staff is staying over on the sideline. He's able to get up under his own power. And he says he's good to go. Guddio takes a hard hit.
Glad to see Guddio okay after that one. Made a really nice stop. Came in, came up to the ball, caught it. I mean, that was another really good look for the Caltech offense. And Guddio came up, made a really nice stop, and ended up getting laid out by a Caltech attacker.
Yeah, it looked like Peter Zawislan, who's the one who laid the hit on Guddio, and you never like to see your keeper get laid out. You never like to see any keeper get laid out, and there's a bit of a question to should Zawislan have pulled off a little earlier when he saw Guddio out. I mean, it's a risky territory when you get that close, and you have to wonder if the keeper had enough time to catch the ball against their chest and secure it. Could the forward have time to try and get out of the way instead of laying him out? Probably. But both players okay, and that's the most important thing. Hartman gets it to Slocum. Slocum downfield to Chatha. Chatha cutting back down. Tries to get that up. Wangandu clears it out. Ocampo with a nice step. And that's deflected down by Ivanov. Moving central is Casanova cutting in. Casanova still with it! Deflected out of bounds by Gudiol. A nice step from the keeper to deflect that one away and prevent the shot. And we'll get a corner kick for Caltech. And the official has to restart the play. Never blew the whistle for the go-ahead. Caltech tried to pull some trickery with Casanova coming in all the way from behind the goal line out of bounds. Try and catch the Cougars off guard. And now Casanova will just send it to the backside. Set it up and whistle blown. Somewhere in that box, there's a shove tagged against the Beavers. Gudiol to Perez. Perez a long ball. It's going to get headed down by the defense, but Kale's there. Long touch from Kale, and Caltech will take possession. Hartman now with some space. And what it looks like to me, Elliot, is the Cougars are having trouble securing possession in the attacking half.
Yeah, so what I've seen so far is that Caltech is heavily dominating the ball, the possession. And when the Cougars do try and run a nice counterattack, they get it out, and then somewhere there's a bad touch, and we just lose the whole opportunity of the counter. And I think what we're going to need to see for the last 8 minutes in the first half and the rest of the second half is some kind of adjustment, either play more of an attacking style or just clean up the touches on the attack.
Hartman sends that upfield towards Miles. That gets all the way over to Kale, double teamed. Kale turns outside. He'll pass that back to Perez, who's already covered. And that's going to get all the way out of bounds. That will be a goal kick for Gudiol. Look at those stats. Like you said, Elliot, dominant possession so far from Caltech, but it hasn't translated into dominant stats. 6 shots for Caltech, 4 for the Cougars. Only 1 shot on goal to Caltech as well, and that's the shot that went in. I mean, the Cougars' defense, they've been getting beat on runs, but when it comes to offensive possessions and passing the ball around the box, they've done a great job of preventing Caltech from getting in there.
Yeah, we've seen the Cougar defense. Obviously, they've been getting beat on the runs a little bit, but when they do just play the slower paced game, they've actually been a pretty good, solid defense so far. And since that injury timeout, they've definitely it looked like I did see the Cougar defenders all talking together.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've played a lot better since then.
But Dio sends a long ball towards Delgado. Casanova passes it back to Crowley, and you mentioned that, and you just see what Velasquez with his back line is doing there. He's holding his arms out to the side, creating, like, extending himself like this is the line. He's yelling at his defense, stay in line, stay in line, stay in line. You can tell they're focusing on holding an even line now. As Ocampo sends back to Badillo. Badillo trying to move upfield, has it taken away by Miles.
Looked like towards the beginning of this game, the Cougar defense got a little bit sped up, and that little break let them regain their confidence and composure, and it looks like they've been a way more solid defense since then.
Ocampo, nice cut. He'll move outside. Tries to send it upfield, deflected out of bounds by Zawaslan. As we get a few subs for both teams. With 5:20 to go in the half. The Caltech Beavers leading Concordia Chicago 1-0 with 5 minutes to go in half number 1. Velasquez lets it fly downfield, looking for Salamanca. Salamanca chasing it down, going to get all the way into the box. Crowley swings it back out to the sideline. Hartman just has it passed right back to him. Now he's going to look to switch fields, gets it over to Coover. Sitting with it is Gaston. Gaston over to Hartman. Hartman has some space. He'll move up. Looking for Miles. A nice step by Gutierrez to deflect it away. Now that's a ball played into the box. Miles can't get a head on. It's picked up by Gudiel. And he'll roll it out to Gutierrez. Gondu, a poor pass. It gives the Caltech offense time to push up. Now Campo is just going to boot it away downfield. Kale trying to step on it. It's passed all the way back to Coover. And yeah, this is what we've seen Caltech more willing to do once they got that lead. Just pass it back to the defense, hold possession back there. A good set from Ocampo to knock it away. Salamanca trying to get there. Hartman gets there first, and he passes it back to Crowley.
Yeah, we've really seen Caltech slow down the pace of the game since they scored that goal. But when Caltech was playing their best game, they were playing the fast game, getting those long runs. I think for Caltech to succeed, they should probably go back to just trying to make those runs where they beat the Cougars on several different occasions.
Slow come all the way back to Crowley. I think part of what we're seeing here is Caltech has the majority of the players on their field from their second team right now. And it's the same for the Cougars. They're giving that starting 11 a rest right now as Perez heads that central. Wangandu can't clear it out cleanly, and he'll draw the foul on Zawaslan. But, yeah, both of these teams have a good chunk of players off the bench in right now. So their starters are getting a break, and I think we'll see a bit more of that once we get to the second half. I think we'll see some more runs coming back from Caltech. I also think we'll see a bit more of that aggression we saw from the Cougars early on in the game once we get those starters back into the game with some fresh legs. But I think both these teams really just kind of in a mindset they're willing to coast through the last 2 minutes till the end of the half. Long ball upfield headed down by Hartman. It's going to get headed back to Crowley. Salamanca putting pressure on it. Crowley has to clear it away by foot. Wangandu gets up there to head it down. Now Pelayo applying pressure. Coover out to the far side. Passes it to Zawaslan past Kale. Zawaslan lays it off to the sideline. Back central towards Chatha. And Chatha will lay it back to his defense. Hartman gets it to Slocum. Past Figueroa. Slocum crosses it in. Miles chips it up in the air. It's down in the box. Perez clears it out. Back to the sideline. Pass back upfield. So it's back to that possession game in midfield for Caltech. And here's Quentin Hartman. We've seen a lot. He steps up past midfield looking for somewhere to go. This time he'll just swing it over to Slocum. Under a minute to go in the half. Caltech confidently holding possession. That's down the sideline. Nice step and nice pass down the sideline by Perez. Perez watching it to the sideline. Perez can't cleanly get it out, but it's deflected out of bounds by Zawaslan. Velasquez just chucks it downfield. Ocampo chips it downfield. That's going to get chipped all the way into the box to Crowley. The Cougars trying to apply pressure. Crowley just boots that upfield. 9, 8, 7, touchdown by Pelayo. Ocampo fighting for it. Now we'll get passed back to Crowley again as time expires in half number 1 here in River Forest. It's the Caltech Beavers holding a 1-0 lead over Concordia Chicago as these two teams head to the break. They'll get a rest. The Cougars going to talk about some much-needed second-half adjustments, and we'll see what those adjustments look like when we come back for half number 2 between the Cougars and the Beavers right here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a few minutes. Welcome back to River Forest here on the Cougar Sports Network. It's half number 2 between the Concordia Chicago Cougars and the visiting Caltech Beavers. It's Caltech up 1-0 over Concordia Chicago as we get ready to go for half number 2. Cougars will kick it off to start the half. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network here with Elliot Higgins. Elliot, as we get going out of halftime, these two teams had a chance to get a breather, talk about what they want to change going into the second half. What adjustments do the Cougars need to make coming out of the break?
I think that the Cougars really just need to play more of an attacking style of offense. In the first half, we only saw 4 shots from the Cougars, only one of which came from inside the box, and 0 shots were on goal. So I think they just need to force the defense, make them make mistakes, make the goalie make saves, and eventually they'll go in.
And Caltech able to push the advance trade off. Mantrapaganda run into the box, lets it rip, saved by Gudiol. That's headed down by Maresco. Second chance, saved again. Maresco clears it away. And we were just talking about it right before we went on air, Elliot. No keeper had a save yet today. Gudiol just picked up a couple in a few seconds.
Yeah, really good stops there by Nathan Gudiol. He, 2 really good looks for Caltech, and Gudiol was just in the prime position for both of them, able to make both saves.
There's another through ball to Mantrapaganda. Hernandez is beat. It's 1-on-1. Oh, he is tagged for the offsides. And that's kind of the adjustment I want to see from the Cougars is, and you kind of see Velasquez making with his defense at the end of the half. Keep in line. Stay in step. And it's how you beat a team that tries to make those runs. And it's almost ironic because you start getting beat on runs because you're so focused on getting beat on runs that the players, they don't focus on keeping in line with the rest of the defense. They focus on their man. So then they'll fall back and you just start running back. You fall out of step with the defense. Someone else can slip on the other side while the rest of the defense is keeping that high line, and you just start causing some chaos. I can probably guarantee you that's something that Coach Callahan talked to his defense about or had Gio Velasquez talk to his defense about. But right there, that's what the Cougars need to do more of in this half. And they're attacking on the far side. That's cleared away out of bounds by Hartman. Stays with the Cougs. Maresco looking for Delgado. That's touchdown. Delgado trying to get it back to Ocampo. Cougars passing all the way back to Badillo. All the way back to the defense. Wangandu plays up to Kale. Kale's tripped up as he sends it out of bounds. That'll be a throw in for the Beavers. Wangandu makes a steal on the far side. Sends that up to Ocampo. Ocampo has it taken away. Nice step. Over to the near side to Lavina. Slides it through to Mantrapaganda. Mantrapaganda cleared away by Velasquez. It'll be a corner kick for Caltech. Just the second corner of the day for the Beavers. Second corner for both teams.
Yeah, I think the first half we really saw the dividends of the red card from Castaneda in the last game. The defense just looked somewhat out of sorts, and in this second half, we need to see Gio Velasquez step up and really take charge of this defense.
There's another save for Gudiol. Hartman, a soft header towards the bottom corner. Gudiol falls on top of it. That long ball over the head of Kale out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Caltech. Coach Callahan calling out some reminders, some adjustments to his squad. Figueroa knocks that out of bounds. So we'll stay with a throw-in for the Beavers. Cougars pushing a high line. Mantrapaganda, long touch, manages to keep it. Now sends the through ball, looking for Casanova. Hernandez tracking back. One-on-one with the keeper. It's wide. A great step from Gudiol to to force a tough angle for Casanova.
That's one thing I've really liked from Nathan Goudiel today is just stepping to those through balls where it's 1-on-1, 2-on-1, and he's just forcing tough angles, and he is being able to stop most of their pushes.
Yeah, it's something that it doesn't go in the book as a save, but it effectively is, as Goudiel forces the tough shot. Now look, sends it to Monchpagata. Monchpagata through to Casanova, who's offside. And Casanova, well, after the whistle, takes the shot into the net. The official blows the whistle to tell him, stop that. Don't do that. Give it up. Pass back to Wangandu. If he touch, he'll get it over to Velasquez. Velasquez, long ball, looking for Sinise. That's headed out of bounds by Kim.
In the first half, we saw after Caltech took the lead, they played a little more passive style of play. And coming out in the second half so far, they have really been on the attack like they were in the first 25 or so minutes in the first half. And that's where the Cougars really just need to hold that line on the defense.
Ocampo looking to switch the field to Hernandez. It's touched down by Figueroa. Trying to touch it to Badillo. He has to stay with it. He'll finally get rid of it to Ocampo. Ocampo over to Badillo. Badillo over to Hernandez. Cougars, they pushed that line up. They're just passing back and forth, waiting for that opportunity. Maresco with a lot of space to push up. Plays it into the box. It's down. Delgado out to Figueroa. Figueroa to Delgado to the backside to Hernandez in the corner. Hernandez cuts in. Hernandez into the middle. It's a poor touch from Bernardo Delgado. And Caltech trying to push the offensive, trying to push the counter. Into the box is Luck. Luck trips up Wangandu, and it's a goal. Kyler Williams there for the pass. Andre Wangandu gets cooked in the box. And it's a 2-0 game for the Beavers.
That's really been the story of the game so far today. I mean, Cougar defense just getting beat on those counterattacks, on those long balls, and they just eventually they were gonna score them. And now the Cougars really need to start pressing up and being able to hold the line on the defense, either get back or cause an offsides. They have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, there's the whistle. Foul tagged or jersey tug on Hernandez. I mean, we talk about the Cougars being pushed onto the back foot through those through balls. That's exactly why Wangandu went down. He's on the back foot. He's pedaling backwards. He's trying to cut sideways because he already got beat, and he's trying to catch back up and stay with it. And eventually you just get tripped up because you're trying to get back with it. There's a long ball picked out of the air by Crowley. But, yeah, I mean, it's a tough play to make, but it's a play that you got beat on because you just didn't get back fast enough. You didn't keep a high enough line. I mean, it's a great play by Caltech. Full credit to the Beavers. Great passes, great movement, and a great aggression on the counter. But still, this Cougars defense struggling to keep up with the long ball. Monchpagata looking for Luck. Taken away by Velasquez. Sends it up, looking for Kale. Can't get there. It's out of bounds. Swung all the way over to Lavina. Back to Casanova. Casanova. Cleared away. Hartman will restart it. He swings it over to Schub. Schub, central to Fang. Fang back to Hartman. Back to Coover. Coover with some space. He steps up. He's being aggressive. And he just lays it off to Williams. KO, nice cut. KO looking for Figueroa. Touchdown by Shube, passing back to Crowley. And the Cougars trying to push the line up. They have to double back as it's through to Kim. Montrepagata, central. Casanova's caught offsides. We got a nice high line from the Cougars. They would have saved that one.
There's the kind of adjustments we need to see from the Cougars there. They were able to hold the line, and they were able to draw the offsides. If they can continue to do that, then they will be able to limit the amount of great pushes that Caltech has had throughout the game.
35 minutes left in the game. Caltech leading 2-0. Hartman will throw it in from the far side. There goes central. Touchdown by Montrepagata. Montrepagata loses it on a poor pass. So Hernandez will send it over to Maresco. Maresco looking to go central to Sinise. Figueroa gets the loose ball. Sinise coming out for it. Sinise will cut back middle. He'll play it back to Badillo. Badillo. Poor pass towards Hernandez. It's cleared up and out of bounds by Ledvina. Figueroa touches it down. Hernandez flying to fight for it. And it's out of bounds off of Hernandez. Throw in Caltech. It's into Casanova. Whistle blown, foul tagged on Ocampo. Awkward contact to the back of Casanova. Shube looks up the line to Ledvina. Ledvina, long ball in. Here goes Luck. Wangandu clears it away. That'll be a corner kick for Caltech. And it's out to Casanova. Casanova, nice cross. It's all the way out of bounds on the other end, deflected by Gudioh. Throw in for the Beavers. Montrepagata cuts inside, taken away by Ocampo. Here's KO. KO rushing down the sideline. Gets it into Sinise. Sinise, double teamed, loses it. Velasquez picks up loose ball. It's taken away by Casanova. Casanova working through traffic, cuts in, rips it. Saved by Gudioh.
We see the Cougars try and run the counterattack once again, and once again it is just cut short by a bad touch, and Caltech actually got a really good look off it.
Hernandez trying to play a long ball through to Figueroa. Hartman passes back to Crowley. Hartman looking upfield to Montrepagata. Sinise touches that down. Back to Badillo. Badillo looking for Kale. Maresco trying to play the long ball up middle as Coover passes that out to Casanova. Here's the long ball. Wangandu clears it to the sideline. Now get out of bounds. Throw in for Caltech. Ledvina down for the throw as we get a couple subs for the Beavers.
With 30 minutes left to go in this game, we need to see the Cougars try and press up into the attacking half. We haven't seen much of it. It's really been Caltech just dominating the possession once again in the second half. And if the Cougars want to make something happen, you got to get to the attacking half.
It's out of bounds off of the Cougars. The official sends Ledvina back to make the throw from the right spot. And I'll switch the field all the way over to the far side to Wu. Hartman over to Coover upfield. Pressure from Sinise. Ledvina looking for Monchpagata. Into the box to Fang. Fang trying to bend it in. It's out of bounds off of Fang. That'll be a goal kick for the Cougs. Down to Hernandez. Looking central, giving go to Figueroa, wasn't ready for it. Nice step from Isaac Hernandez. But Dio will just boom that downfield. Delgado trying to chase it down versus Coover. Pass sack to Crowley, up to Hartman. A lot of space to get it over to the sideline. KO attacks. KO goes down. KO. Rolling back and forth on the ground. As the clock is stopped for an injury break. These two teams will catch a breather. As KO gets up under his own power and walks it off. Looked like he just got hit in a bit of an unfortunate spot, Elliot.
Yeah, he went to make the challenge, and it looked like they just kind of ran into each other, and Kale went down, but looks to be fine for now.
There's a through ball. KO knocks it down. Second chance through ball, able to get through. Chipped central towards Williams. Williams into the corner. Working towards the box. Has to lay it out. That's sent down to the near side for Shub. Shub sits with it over to Williams. Back to Shub. Shub turns around. He's going to have to get swung around the backside to Hartman. Hartman up to Monchpagata. Monchpagata charges in. He charges in through traffic. Monchpagata rips it. Deflected and saved by Gudiol. I mean, a heck of a run from Monchpagata. Heck of a save by Ethan Gudiol.
I mean, so far the silver lining from this game has been the working goal from Nathan Gudiol. He's been locked down in there. He's got some really good saves so far in the second half, and if he can continue to do that and the Cougars can press up on the attack, you might see something happen.
It's another corner for the Beavers. They'll crash from the middle as we get a substitution. Down in goal for Caltech. Alex Crowley's day is done. Into the net is Sam Matthews. That ball in, headed out by Velasquez. It's back in the box. It's down. Figueroa passes it up to Delgado. Delgado up for Sinise. Sinise has some space towards the corner. Cuts his way into the box. Michael Sinise tries to cut in. Can't get past Coover. Trying to do it himself. Didn't have help yet. And it's taken away. Velasquez heads that back down towards the box. That's laid down to Attaboy. Picked up by Gudiel.
Although nothing came from it on that last push by the Cougars, that's what we need to see throughout the rest of this game. Really good run by Michael Sinise. Got down in the box. Wasn't able to make anything happen from it, but if you continue to get the ball into the box, something will happen. Eventually, you'll get a cross, somebody will be there, and you'll be able to get one in the back of the net.
Brigada's pass is deflected. Delgado brings it down. Delgado plays it over to Velasquez. Velasquez plays it down to Sinise. Sinise trying to cut back with it. It's out of bounds off of Coover. So Velasquez playing up, throws it into Figueroa, who taps it back to Velasquez. Megs Shub, but Ledvina's there. Now Shub making a run, trying to play it over to Yao. Yao in the middle. Trying to play it to Ledvina. It's a weak pass. Figueroa steps on it. Hernandez cutting middle. Hernandez cutting up. Figueroa back to Velasquez. Long ball over to Moresco. Moresco stepping up, trying to get it to Ocampo. He does, and Ocampo's give and go is deflected and taken away. Brigada has that taken away by Ocampo. KO back to Ocampo. Ocampo through ball to Sinise. Can't get a clean touch. It's taken away by Hartman. Attaboy in central, lays it off to Williams, over to Yao. Dean Yao looking for a lane. Trying to send it through to Ledvina. Gudiel is out to pick it up. Cougars yet to get a shot this half, as there's 25 minutes left to go. Wangandu over towards Moresco on the sideline, chips it through, but it's taken away by Feng. Attaboy, taken away by Wangandu. Give and go. It's taken back by the Beavers. But Dio now plays it over to Figueroa. Wangandu's still down. Velasquez has it taken away by Williams. And finally the refs are going to blow the whistle with Wangandu still down on the field. And they blow the whistle for an offsides. Ref did not want to stop play with Wangandu down on the field. As he goes over to check on him. It'll be a kickball for Gudiel. Velasquez will send it away on the free kick. That's through. Sinise gets up, heads it back to Figueroa. Figueroa puts it up, and it's taken away by Feng. Now Ocampo takes it back. Plays it over to Kale. Kale. Looking central. Sinise trying to keep it through traffic, and he loses it. Wangandu touches it down, cuts back. A lot of chaos on that far side. Sinise fighting for it. It's out of bounds. Everyone says it's their ball.
had about 10 players and just a little clump over there.
It's getting bounced around. Actually, I haven't seen the official put their arm up. I think it's Cougar ball.
As soon as the ball went out of bounds, all 10 hands pointed their way.
I think it's Cougar ball. The official hasn't told Maresca to drop it. We got a few subs for both sides, including in goal Zizak in for Gudiel. That'll get passed back to Crowley. Pass over to Shub. Shub looking towards the right. Lays that back off to Coover. Coover sends it up to the right side. Working past midfield.
New goalkeeper for the Cougars, number 0, Chase Zizak. Also in for the Cougars, number 31, Ivan Glide.
That'll get out of bounds on the goal line for a corner. Another corner kick opportunity, 5th of the day for Caltech. The Beavers send about half their squad into the box. That's a low kick headed straight down and out by Ocampo. Kale chases it down. Kale can't get it to anyone. It's taken away. Ocampo on the rebound. Swings it over to Hernandez. Hernandez chasing it down. Trying to beat Shub to it. Can't do it. Shub playing towards his defense. Hernandez staying with it. Hernandez gets it into the box. It's passed back to Crowley, who passes back out to Chin. Pass over to the right side. Isaac Hernandez just trying to get something done. And he almost did. Passed out towards Enslovitz. Back to Coover. Over to Gaston. Sonis, nice step to take that away. And the whistle is blown. That's going to be an instant. Should be an instant card pulled out. And it is. Yellow card tagged against Caltech. You can't play a ball like that when you're down on the ground.
"20 minutes left here in the match, and really just need to see the Cougars attack on, press up on defense, attack on offense, and still looking for the first shot on goal of the day for the Cougars. And we would love to see that happen here within the next few minutes.
Velasquez will boom this one straight at the keeper, grabbed out of the air by Matthews. He'll roll it out to Gaston, plays it up to Yao. And this will quickly get down to midfield.
Yellow card issued to Beavers, number 8, Dean Yao.
Trying to fight through traffic, loses it. It's played back to Wangandu, plays it back to Zizak. Zizak will boot it away, upfield. Oresco loses the pass, trying to fight back for it, can't do it. And he's taken down is Adeboye. Draws the foul, so we'll get a free kick. For Caltech. ball over to the near side. Touchdown by Ivanov. And he's caught off sides. Velasquez will send it away. Moresco touches that down. Give and go. Adeboye goes down to disrupt that pass. It's out of bounds off of Caltech. Stays with the Cougars, however. Moresco still rolling down the sideline. As it to Kale. Kale loses it, trying to get it to Delgado. Pelayo back to Velasquez, over to Hernandez. Hernandez trying to chip that middle. No one's there. It's taken by Ivanov. And Caltech will have some time to set up an attack. Long ball through to Yao. Yao, a lot of space. As Kale tracks back onto him. Ivanov looking for Adeboye. Out of bounds off of Adeboye, and that'll be a Cougar throw. Got a couple subs coming in for CUC. Delgado out. Sinise out. There's a long throw from Moresco. Chip towards Figueroa. Looking upfield for Gutierrez. Gutierrez trying to chase it down. Can't get there. It's played back to the keeper, Matthews. Matthews swings it out right. Yeah, Spoon Century falling into a bit of a lull here, Elliott, as these two teams send it back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I haven't seen any great attacks here in the last about 10 minutes.
Here might be one. Going in is Miles. Miles sends it wide right of the post. That'll be a goal kick for the Cougars, just as we mention it. There's one. And Velasquez went down during that attack. He's fired up. He's chirping at the official. Velasquez sends that one way down the sideline and out of bounds. I think the most shocking part of the game from the Cougars so far is that the offense has really struggled today.
Yeah, credit to the Caltech defense. They, I mean, every push we've had, or every push the Cougars have had, it's been stopped. Like, even the long runs with Michael Sinise, they've just been there. And it's been really hard to break through the Caltech defense today. And the Cougars would love to make something happen here in the last 15 minutes.
Still getting bounced around. Foul going to get tagged on Caltech. Down goes Gutierrez. Cougars are going to get a free kick from the 20. This is going to be one of the best opportunities they'll have all half. 30 yards out. We'll send everyone to the top of the box. Ocampo. Will take the kick. They're all setting up at the top of the box on the backside. Ocampo lets it fly into the mess. That's chipped up out of bounds off of Caltech, so the Cougars will get their first corner kick of the day. Caleb Kale will head over to take it. First corner kick of the day with 13 minutes to go in the game. Kale straight to the front, headed up, still up in the box. Desperation attempt from Garcia is going to draw the foul, and it'll get cleared away by Caltech. Cougars, through their best opportunities all half, can't get close to getting a shot on either of them. And Caltech will just start passing it around on their defensive front. Coover over to Shub. Shub looking for a gap. He'll play it across to Gaston. Here comes a long run into the box by Miles. Zizak picks it up off the ground. Miles trips over him. A nice run out from Chase Zizak to pick up that long ball and prevent the shot. Hernandez double teamed, loses it to Yao. And there's a late whistle. Hernandez grabbed Dean Yao after getting beat. And Yao will take the kick. Yao puts it up. Nice free kick into the box and a nice grab by Zizak. Cutting on field is Maresco. Campos swings it across to Hernandez. Hernandez playing central to Pelayo. Pelayo gets it up to Velasquez. Velasquez back to Pelayo. Over to Ocampo. Now Maresco into Velasquez. Velasquez into the box. And Gutierrez is slowed up and can't get to the ball before it's cleared away. It's out of bounds off of Gaston, so Cougars will still hold possession. Actually, it's deflected off of the Cougars, so it's a throw-in for Caltech. Got a sub for Caltech as well. Out of the game is Shub, into the game is Slocum. Out of the game is Yao. Into the game. Back into the game is, oh, that looks like Justin Wu. It's back to Matthews. He'll swing it straight over all the way to Slocum. Chipped back to Slocum. Sent upfield to Miles. Miles. Pass is disrupted by Wangandu. Hernandez gets up there to keep it up in the air. Ocampo bikes that over to Kale. Kale trying to make a run to the sideline, and he will. Kale creates a little bit of space. Trying to take it into the corner, trying to cut back. He's double teamed in the corner, and he has it taken away from him. Matthews sends that away. Slocum will touch it down on the near side. Slocum moving central. Sends it to Chatha. Chatha upfield. And there's the ball into the corner. Chasing it down is Wu. Wu's there. Wu into the box. Wu, top of the box. Shot rifled well over the top of the net.
Another good look there for Caltech. Once again, break through the Cougars defense, get another good shot, and miss it about 10 feet high.
Now the Cougars defense, they've still got their starters in on the back line, starting to get a bit gassed. Through ball, looking for Gutierrez. Loses it to the double team. Now Maresco trying to push the attack. Maresco trying to slice through. Has that taken away by Wu. Gaston passes back to Matthews. Matthews rifles it out. Moresco will touch it down. Moresco rifles a long one. Matthews knocks it down, picks it up off the bounce. So Cougars' first shot of the half comes with 9 minutes to go. Matthews will swing that over to the near side. Nice touch from Henslovitz to get it to Slocum. Slocum looking central. Gutierrez tries to track it back. Can't get a clean foot on it. Ball into Miles. Miles, top of the box, trying to get through traffic. Touched away by Velasquez. Miles back into the box, working on Velasquez. Has it touched away again. Campo to Figueroa. Figueroa to the middle to Gutierrez. Gutierrez loses it to Coover. Coover trying to cut to the right. Now Ivanov goes central. And a trio of Beavers caught off sides.
That is one adjustment the Cougars have made for the second half. Is in the first half we saw them get beat on the through balls quite a lot, and in the second half now we have seen a lot of those turn into offsides calls. So good adjustment by the Cougars.
And they made those defensive adjustments. On the flip side, whatever defensive adjustment that Caltech made as well, they already were doing good against the Cougars offense in the first half. They have shut down the Cougars offense in the second half. There's a long ball to Miles. Wangandu heads it up, gets the angle on it, touches it, clears it. KO on the far side trying to turn it. It's out of bounds off of Chin. We get another sub for the Cougs. Waiting for one of the... Oh, there it is. Wangandu is down on the field, so we'll get the trainers to come out and check on him as these teams will get some water, get a breather with about 5:50 to go in the game. We look ahead from here for the Cougars. Had a 4-game homestand to start the season, and that 4-game homestand is a 5-game homestand. It continues this upcoming week after a couple of days break before they take on the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point this Thursday here in River Forest. And after that, they'll finally head on the road, and that'll bring them within 1 game out to the end of this non-conference slate. After that, they head to take on Eureka this next Saturday, September 13, and that's their final non-conference game. After that, it is in action for Cougars men's soccer.
6 minutes left to go in this game. Although it might be tough for the Cougar to come back for this one, they would love to see some good pressure on the offensive half, kind of take something good to go, and have a nice silver lining in the game.
Wangandu is up and limping towards the sideline with the trainer. He'll head out of the game. Miguel Salamanca will come into the game. He'll head up to the top, to forward. Gutierrez will head back to defense. Salamanca draws the foul. And Cougars will draw another foul. This one's going to get tagged on Justin Wu.
Cougars working the ball down the field. Love to see a nice ball in the box here. Get another shot on goal.
That ball is up. It's into the box. It's down in the box. Salamanca rips it, and it's off the back of Coover. Now Miles trying to push the pace the other way. Gets it to Slocum. Slocum down the sideline. Slocum down the line. It's a nice ball through to Zawislan, and he'll get caught offsides. Cougars done a lot better holding that defensive line and stopping those runs this half. As we're under 5 minutes to go in the game, Velasquez will boom this one away, looking for a running Kale. And it's cleared out by Gaston. Kale backtracks, can't get it. Salamanca trying to apply pressure. Gaston clears it up the line to Miles. Miles, a nice touch, but he loses it out of bounds. It's deflected off of Moresco, so he'll keep possession. Swung over to Henslovitz. We'll swing it right back to Gaston. Saw us at the end of the first half. Caltech more than willing to just hold possession on the defense and wait for a gap with the lead. Slocum touches that down. He'll pass it back to his defense. Cougars want to get something going. They're going to have to play some pressure on the defense. That's played central and passed back to Henslovitz.
Yeah, Cougars got to apply some pressure here because Caltech would be completely content with just passing this game out.
Perez trying to play that across. Velasquez passes it straight to Slocum. Well, didn't see where his team was. Now Zawislan with some space. Zawislan, central. Cougars want a handball. They don't get the call, but Zizak falls on top of it anyways.
Not quite sure what just happened.
It looks
there.
like, I think they might have tagged. Very late call from the official.
Did they get Zizak with the yellow card right there?
It looks like they got Zizak. I mean, that's who the ref was holding the yellow up for. And yeah, it's on Zizak, and he was marching over. He was screaming at Zizak. So it looks like, my guess is Zizak was chirping at, was yelling about the lack of a call on the handball, and the ref didn't appreciate that. As you can tell by the way that he was screaming at Chase Zizak. And so he takes away the punt. He'll put it down to the edge of the box and give a free kick to Caltech. Straight over the net by Jack Miles, so Cougars don't have to pay anything for that one. And with 2:30 left, they'll just want to get out of this game without any further damage.
Really good look there for Caltech. Little touch off on the free kick and shot just wide.
Velasquez sends that away. Still bouncing around, taken over by Zawislan. Zawislan looking to the corner. Wu can't Can't cut in cleanly, and it's going to be cleared downfield. Garcia, central. Pelayo all the way back to Zizak. Zizak. Looking for somewhere up to Velasquez. Velasquez back to Zizak. And Zizak will just boom it away. Minute and a half to go in the game. Cougars clear it out again. Garcia just tries to boom it upfield. It's taken away by Coover. Slocum. Back to Henslovitz, over to Coover. Caltech finishes up their
1 minute remaining in the game.
Their Chicago doubleheader here in CUC today. Jack Miles with a run. Miles can't get the shot off. He'll go for the rebound. It's over to Slocum, and it's a goal for Gavin Slocum to close this game out. Miles sends it over on the rebound. As the official aggressively pointed at someone there. 3-0 game. 3-0 lead with 47 seconds to go for Caltech. So they'll finish out their trip to Chicago with a win over Concordia Chicago. They head back out to the West Coast, back home, to take on Life Pacific, their next game this upcoming Tuesday on September 9th. That's cleared out over to the Thunderdome by Velasquez, and that'll bring us within 15 seconds of the end of the matchup. Until Cougars just tired and frustrated, just trying to get out of the game. As Miles charges towards the edge of the box, Miles will hold it to finish this one out. It's a 3-0 win for the Caltech Beavers. They shut out the Cougars for their first shutout of the season. Caltech shut someone out for the first time this season. Cougars get shut out for the first time this season. And that's how their Illinois doubleheader will end. Concordia Chicago tightens up the defense a bit in the second half, but loses their offensive pressure. And they fall 3-0 to Caltech over on the Beavers' end. Big days from Etienne Casanova and Kyler Williams. Casanova picked up a goal in the first half. Gavin Slocum picking up that third goal at the end of the match. Put a cherry on top for Caltech before they head back home. Over on the Cougars' end, rough day for the Cougars. 5 saves for Nathan Gugio, 2 goals allowed, but those are the kind of goals that you kind of put on the defense rather than on the keeper. 6 shots for CUC, only 1 shot on goal, and it was 35 yards out. Rough day on offense for Concordia Chicago. And they'll look to bounce back from that in a few days as they take on Wisconsin Stevens Point here at home this upcoming Thursday on September 11th at 2 o'clock right here in River Forest. That is actually the next match that'll be streamed live here on CUC Sports. Cougar Athletics, busy weekend. Busy couple of weeks to start the year at home. We'll get a break for a couple of days before men's soccer and women's soccer are back in action on September 11th. That'll do it from here in River Forest. Concordia Chicago shut out by Caltech. It's a 3-0 win for the Beavers to close out their Illinois road trip. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who made this broadcast possible. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Spec Sports Network. Joining me today was Elliot Higgins. Make sure to tune in next time on CUC Sports. And as always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.